Hello and welcome to your preview of Training to Go modules presented by Technical Sales and Consulting. At the end of the preview, we will provide how to access more information about our training products. Thanks for visiting, and we hope you enjoy the preview. Pearl Standard 1225 covers evaluation, testing, and reconditioning of low-voltage insulated case circuit breakers with solid-state trip units. This video shows a Westinghouse SPB breaker or systems power breaker going through the reconditioning process at ROMAC, an authorized Pearl member location. It is important to note that the standard section applies to many types of units. The video covers only those parts that apply to the SPB breaker chosen. Also of concern is that the reconditioning process is not sequential with the topic listing of the standard. We will, however, show a caption indicating the section of the standard occurring. First, the T-connectors are removed. After that, the trip unit cover and the breaker cover are carefully removed, making sure to check for broken or cracked covers and cases. Then the trip unit is removed. Be certain that before replacing the trip unit, it is repaired, replaced, or tested per the standard. The pawl and ratchet assembly are removed. The current sensors and wiring harness are now removed. After this, the main moving contact assembly is removed, followed by the main stationary contacts. All metal parts are then placed in a vibratory cleansing system for cleaning and polishing. The case, cover, and all insulating parts are cleaned and surface treated as necessary before the reassembly begins. First, the various contact parts are reassembled into the contact subassembly. The main stationary and moving contacts are being reinstalled into the breaker. The moving parts are checked to make sure they are not binding. The cleaned and lubricated pawl and ratchet assembly, followed by the trip unit mounting plate and the trip unit, are reinstalled. All the T-connectors are reinstalled. The covers for the breaker and the trip unit are replaced. Then the technician manually operates the breaker to make sure the mechanism is tight and operation is smooth. This should be done at least 5 times manually and 5 times electrically. This breaker will be tested with a 2500 volt megger. With the breaker open, this test checks the integrity of the insulation between each of the 6 main stabs and the breaker frame. The insulation from line and load side on the same phase are also checked. With the breaker closed, the test checks the resistance between the main line stabs and the frame. The phase-to-phase insulation is also checked. A contact resistance test using a digital low resistance ohm meter or a millivolt drop test from line to load on each phase of a closed breaker. A known current is applied across the current carrying path of the breaker, and the drop across the path is measured. This test will check the current path resistance of the circuit breaker. Loose or bad connections, dirty pivot points, and dirty contacts will show up as a high resistance reading. Any of the points that have a high resistance could have excessive heating and possibly arcing that could damage the breaker. In the next step, a high current primary injection test set is connected to the breaker. Primary injection testing is the best way to verify the operation of the trip unit since it exercises every aspect of the breaker and trip unit, including the CTs. Secondary injection testing bypasses the CTs. And finally, we are verifying the breaker trips in conformity with the manufacturer's guidelines with the primary injection test. A final manual and electrical operation test should be performed. The standard calls for this to be done 10 times. All results are recorded onto the test forms and into a database. If you refer to the Pearl Standards section, you will see that considerably more time must be devoted than what is displayed in this video to properly perform the reconditioning process. Considerable care should be taken to ensure that all applicable steps are followed. Only when all steps and inspections are performed will the breaker receive this Romac Breaker Quality Seal, as well as the Pearl Quality Seal. Hi, we hope you enjoyed the sample video of our online e-learning module. This clip is from one of our many available modules. We're always working on new modules, but here is the current list of developed lessons. Low voltage motor control, molded case circuit breakers, insulated case circuit breakers, low voltage power breakers, medium voltage switchgear, medium voltage control, motor control centers, transformers, contactors, operators devices, protective relays, and lastly, variable frequency drives. Outlines, pricing, previews, and requests for information are available at tsnc.com/e-learning. Let our Training to Go programs train your people while you run your business.